Hi, welcome back to Planner Apocalypse, where today I have a special announcement. I'm going to be opening my actual very first book, which is here. It's the Memento Mori Goal Planner Companion. And then we'll do a little flip through and I will do a review on my own product, I guess. I'm so scared. This is direct published from Amazon. So I had no control over really the quality of the printing. I could choose what paper and whether I want color or super color. And that's pretty much it. Oh. Already I'm a little sad because the colors are not quite as vibrant as I was hoping, but here we go, that's it. And it's got the spine. So comparing that to that cover that I had professionally printed at my old job, it's a little bit muted, but they have different printers there, so it is what it is. I'm actually really scared to look inside now, but here we go. Oh, okay. All right, so this opens pretty nicely, and I'm already going to say that this paper is not going to take too much as far as ink goes, but I'm going to do a pen test. It looks like the lines are showing up, which is good. I was concerned about that because they suggested a 0.5 weight to the lines, and mine are all 0.25 because I like my lines to be not obtrusive. The dot grid also shows up, so that's nice. That's great. So I opted for the color over the black and white because the pastel rainbow and the death positivity is just how I've always pictured this workbook. So the margin on the inside is a little tight. So this is 7 inches by 9.25 tall. It's the same size as a Happy Planner sheet. It's the same size that it was originally designed. I had thought about adding an extra ½ inch to make it 7.5 by 9.25. And I think for next year, if I go this route, I would probably do that. But I'm feeling good about the colors on the inside, so that's good. The margins are clean and everything is printed correct, you know, like not upside down or anything like that. Now let's look at the monthly calendars. All of the fonts look like they printed correctly, which I was also really worried about. And so yeah, I think this is a good sample, I guess, of what to expect, period. I think, yeah, for the next one, I will add more of an inside margin, but girl. Then we have the annual review. Cool. So I'll be using this year. If you want to follow along with me in your book at home, you can do that. Ooh, there's a blank sheet at the end, so I can do a pen test, and so can you. I highly recommend always doing a pen test. If you're gonna buy this, do a pen test. I still have to pretty up the listing for this too. There's like no pictures. I mean, there's obviously the cover picture, but there's no way to like look inside, which is annoying. So yeah, let's do a flat lay. Okay, so here we are. We are looking at the top down. This bothers me that this is not centered now, but things to change for next year, right? So we do have a glossy cover. That's nice. This folds out. I had been considering going somewhere to get the spine chopped off so that I could punch this and put it on discs, but I don't think I'll be doing that. So if there's any problems with the construction, unfortunately that is beyond my domain. I only designed it, the insides, and then it's out of my hands. So if there are any negative reviews about the paper quality, that's beyond what I have control over. So there's that. So as you can see, we've got the lines. You can see the lines. You can see the dot grid. Some of the new spreads that I made this year, because I did add new spreads. I added acknowledgements because I have people that helped me to this year. So some of the new spreads for this year, I added the Happytizer menu. I broadened some areas like the lower your bar area. I added in the references, I added more references and also further reading if you wanted to read further about any of this stuff. So I added an explanation about the one thing that you can work on per day to feel like you made an impact or that you were successful. And I added the Happytizer menu, which is about building a kit of things to help your mood. And you have a whole page for that. And what else did I add? I was very nerdy and very excited about this. Oh, I added more explanation about goals, like what types of goals. You can make it an intention, you can make it an outcome goal, or you can make it a process goal. I also, this year for the goal spread, added set your bar. What is the smallest thing you'll need to accomplish in order for you to feel satisfied with your progress on this goal by the end of the year? And so this is going back to that idea about what is the lowest bar? Like, lower your bar. It's great to have big dreams, but it's also great to have a reality check every once in a while. And sometimes things are possible, and sometimes we need a little bit more time and grace with ourselves. So not much changed here, but I did in this stuff, I added Chiron, and then I added an entire thing about Chiron here. I moved the planets retrograde to their own page because I have a retrograde function now. And so here's the thing that I was really excited about. It's the Mercury retrograde projects timeline, because you're not supposed to quotes, work on new things when Mercury is retrograde and it's covering areas that it's already covered before. Mercury being the planet of our intellect and speech and logic and all of that stuff. So it's a good time to edit things. So if you have any projects that need editing, this is a good time to do it. So I outlined, this is like a Gantt chart. So you've got all of your months here, all of the days across the way. The light gray indicates the storm period where it's about to go retrograde. It acts the same as the retrograde. And then the darker gray is the actual retrograde. I also have the sign that Mercury is in, so you can track where Mercury is. And if you know your rising sign, that's great. You can apply that to your chart if you know what your natal Mercury is, if you know what your houses are, etc. We have 3 Mercury retrogrades in 2025, and so there are really good times to do some hardcore editing about things. So this one will be starting in Aries, and then it will retrograde into Pisces, and then come back out, and then move into Aries again. The next retrograde will be in Leo, and then fully in Leo. And then the next retrograde will start in Sagittarius. It will retrograde back into Scorpio, and then it will, once it's out of retrograde, go back into Sagittarius. So if you happen to know themes those cover for you, good for you. You'll be ahead of the game. So this is the astrological lunar cycles and their themes. So when you have the moon, let's say in Aries, you can think about the themes and associations associated with Aries, such as taking initiative, courage, and inspiration. Your related domains as far as your Memento Mori goal domains, because I did think about the zodiac as I was making these categories. So your related domains for Aries, as an example, are alignment and self-expression, emphasis on alignment, know thyself, and practice, because Aries is ruled by Mars, which is like the planet of action. So you want to be sure that you're doing things. And let's see, new for this year, I had to make so many of these how to use this planner, because I had the original, I had the horizontal, the vertical, the daily, and now this one. So it's 5 of these things. You will get details, a lot of details about how to use the sheets in this book particularly. This book has different sheets than the other Memento Mori Goal Planners, because this does not have weekly spreads. And yes, I also included a spread about the other Memento Mori Goal Planners because you know what? I'm proud of myself and just let me have this. So new for this year, also we have a calendar overview. Y'all don't hate me. I figured if I was going to be literally the only person to ever buy this thing, I was going to have it exactly the way that I wanted. So it is a Monday start calendar. I am so sorry. And it's rainbow inside. I'm so sorry for anybody who wanted Sunday start and who wanted the somber version, the black and white. I'm sorry. I didn't know how this was going to go, so I didn't want to make more work for myself. So here are another set of new spreads for this year. We have, what is this? The future log or whatever you want to call it. These were requested by a viewer or suggested. I don't know if they still watch, but I have done the thing for you. And then we have the lunar calendar, and then we've got the January prep page as usual, and we've got the monthly calendar as usual. As you see, it starts on a Monday. Also, this is an error, I'm sorry, but it's the same as this. I don't know why that happened, but it happened. So here we go. After you have the monthly calendar, you've still got the monthly brain dump and the stuff this month. So basically the idea here, in case you're new here, is you dump out everything in your brain that you can possibly think of, that also you're filtering from these spreads here. So quarter one, so you set your goals, right? Then you figure out when you're going to work on these goals and projects and stuff, and you put them into here. And then basically you take all of this junk and you filter it into here. And of course, because life goes on, you're going to have new things coming in, right? So the idea of a brain dump is to lessen your cognitive load so that it's not all in your head and you're not stressing about, I hope I don't forget this. And then you will take these things and you will fit them into this sheet. Obviously, not everything is going to fit, and that's also a good indication of how time works, because we don't have all the time in the world. That's also to say energy, especially people with chronic health issues, people that have depression and stuff like that. Your energy levels are going to vary by day, and sometimes we get more done in one day and not much done in another day. Sometimes we don't get anything done, and that's okay. It's going to be okay. But fit what you can into the stuff this month and go as you will. So then these are the new spreads for this planner that are exactly for this planner. These are lunation spreads, which I had been using in my Hobonichi weeks. In case you did not see my Tetra Kaigi, this is how I've been using it, because I was using this planner this year in 2024 as a way to try to figure out how I wanted to make the companion. So basically, you have the first quarter moon, and you have from this thingy, I took the cheat sheet entries and I added it under here. So I'm like reminding you, a first quarter moon is about clearing obstacles, taking inspired action, and tending. So your themes and associations, because it's the first quarter moon in Aries, is going to be taking initiative, courage, and inspiration. And then your related domains, if you want to work with a specific goal domain, are alignment and self-expression, emphasis on alignment, know thyself, and practice. And these things are all from this page somewhere. These pages, right? So this stuff is going to be repeated in here. Then you have the lunation specific stuff, right? So crisis point number 1, and you'll see in how to use this planner, you get an actual explanation of what this means, right? So, first quarter moon, I guess I'll read these in order. We don't start the year off with a new moon, which is why we don't start with a new moon here. If I was making an undated version of this, I would start with a new moon just because that's the start of the cycle. But the moon doesn't care about our calendars, right? So it does what it wants, and it moves the way it will. So how to use this planner, you have so much. I wrote so much for this stuff, and I'm so sorry. But we're just going to read this part. The new moon is probably the most well-known in manifestation circles because this is the time we tell the universe what we want, and everybody wants things. There's no shame in that. That's just how we survive. We plant our seeds of intention, set our goals, in the creative dark of the new moon and watch them take shape as the light grows and illuminates the progress as well as the problems. This is your place to dream big, to look over the goals you set at the beginning of the workbook and to start deciding what you want to grow in this cycle, what goals best work in these conditions. But you can't stop with just writing down your intentions. You have to actually take action on them. At the bottom of the page, you'll find information on stepping into the next phase, so we're reminded that the cycle keeps moving with or without us. So the new moon is just a point in an ever moving cycle, right? So it's important to keep that in mind, that this is just one step. So obviously I'm flipping forward, but the new moon in Aquarius is January 29th. I do have the times here. It's in Eastern time because I'm in Eastern time. And if, I was going to be the only person to buy this, I'm not making extra work for myself. So I'm so sorry for people who have to do extra work, but you have no idea how much work I put into this thing. But anyway, the new moon is here. You've got your fresh start, setting intentions, cleansing, planting seeds. You got your themes and associations, your related domains for Aquarius, and then set your intentions. What goals, projects, wishes, hopes, and dreams do you want to start or call in this cycle? How do you want to feel? You can also choose to fill out your stuff this month pages at this time. So you can start these things, right, at the month start, like the calendar start, or you can start it at the new moon. It's up to you. This thing is always flexible. The monthly calendar is here because it has the daily moon signs, and I thought that was very useful, and it lets you pick your top domains and stuff like that. After you set your intentions, there's a big old dot grid space here to dump out your whatnots. You have moving forward, the waxing crescent moon. And again, I took directly from the lunar cheat sheet thing that I made. So allowing for growth, expansion, decisions, planning, germination. So these 4 pillars that you have worksheets on are definitely more of the quote unquote masculine action oriented phases. But it's really important to not forget about these quote unquote softer phases that are in between. You can even say feminine. That's masculine, feminine. It's one of those things. We have the action oriented, and then we also have the parts of the cycle where we're making decisions. We are deciding where to direct our energy. We're deciding what is going to get done, and then we take action, right? So it's a lot of give and take with oscillation almost of energy during the cycle. So just keep that in mind. It's important to keep your mind open for the next cycle or the next point in the cycle, right? So during the waxing crescent moon, once your intentions are set, remember to take inspired action until the first quarter moon, meaning your seedlings still need to be tended if you want them to grow. So then the first quarter moon is the halfway point between the new moon. So this is where we started, right? Before I went off on a tangent. So I'm explaining what crisis point number 1 means. Okay. The first quarter moon is the halfway point between the new moon and the full moon. Astrologically speaking, this aspect is a square at 90 degrees, which represents a challenge or conflict. If you set intentions last week at the new moon, you've hit a crisis point in your goals. This is the moment when the seed of intention that has been planted cracks, and only time will tell if it will bear fruit or if it will die. If you've ever planted real seeds before, you know that not all of them will grow, and that is normal. What actions will you take now to tend to this seed / intention / wish / goal so that it has the best chance to come to fruition? This is the time to examine any obstacles, such as limiting beliefs, that may be preventing you from reaching your goals, and come up with solutions to overcome them. Use the energy of the first quarter moon to take decisive, inspired action, implement new habits or routines, course correct, and stay committed to your goals. So you have what challenges are arising right now and how can you recommit to the dreams and intentions that you set at the new moon? What goals are starting to sprout? Which seeds didn't make it? So you have challenges, growing well, wilting / needs work, and recommitting to. Moving forward, we have the waxing gibbous moon, goals coming to fruition, readjust, don't give up, ripening. Once you've checked in with your goals' progress and either recommitted them or chosen a new course, make whatever tweaks necessary to your process and keep working hard. You've got this. Another reason that I have all these check-ins is because in the regular weekly planner, you have those weekly assessments. This is mine for this year. So like you have a weekly review, but you don't get that in the companion, you just have these lunation sheets because there's no weekly, but you get a lunation basically every week. So this is a way to move through the lunar cycle more in alignment with this, right? So hopefully that will be helpful to people. I don't know. Okay, full moon. Astronomically speaking, a full moon happens when the sun is opposite 180 degrees the moon. Astrologically, the sun represents our conscious awareness, while the moon represents our subconscious and unconscious awareness, things that are hidden from us. So in essence, a full moon is reflecting back the light of our conscious awareness, the sun, onto our subconscious and unconscious awareness, the moon, bringing up a lot of themes that maybe we've been avoiding and haven't fully realized yet. A full moon has this feeling of things coming to light, or doing things out in the open, having realizations, or recognizing our own efforts, or having other people recognize them. We should always strive to be our own best cheerleaders, and that's what this worksheet is about. Going back over the past couple of weeks and picking out your wins, what was good, any highlights, to express gratitude to yourself, others, and the universe, or whomever, for all that has come and all that is yet to come. As a person with depression, I find tracking my highlights very helpful, as it reminds me that depression lies and things don't always suck. So that's over here. So we've got wins, highlights, and gratitude. What is the full moon lighting up in this area of your life? How have you grown? What's changed for you in the past cycle, in the past 6 months? So this is the full moon in Cancer. So you can also do like a macro tracking of your goals from the new moon in Cancer, which is in July, ? And, track it, or no, it's June. Sorry, June 21st, because it's like the first, the summer solstice, or winter if you're down south in the southern hemisphere. But so you can go new moon to full moon as like a 6-month course. It's time to highlight what you've been able to accomplish, no matter how small. A little gratitude goes a long way. And then you can, make a list. You can paste in pictures. You can make stickers. You can draw things. You can do whatever. And then moving forward, you have the disseminating moon. Review, evaluation, recognition, celebration. Hopefully with the pep talk you've given yourself at the full moon, you're able to keep going and tie things up with fresh insight, seeing things with new eyes. Maybe you didn't get everything done, but you've gotten the first few steps started, and that's the main thing. Slow progress is still progress. Be kind to yourself. And I just want to say about slow progress, like I'm talking to myself. It's taken me 4 years of working on this to see this, in print. And I don't mean printed at home. So things take time, and good things take time. So don't give up. All right, so the last one, we have the last quarter moon. So this month it's in Scorpio. Last quarter moon, happening halfway between the full moon and the new moon. The last quarter moon hits at another 90-degree angle, or a square, with the sun, and represents another crisis point in the lunar cycle. At the full moon, we harvested the benefit, the whole reason we planted the seed in the first place, and we left the extra behind. Think harvesting the wheat from the chaff, where the chaff is left behind. It was only needed in order to grow the wheat. The disseminating moon gave us the wisdom we needed after that, and now, at the last quarter moon, it's time for reevaluation or releasing that which no longer serves you. It's an opportunity to reflect on your experiences and learn from them, allowing you to move forward with new knowledge and wisdom. Go over everything you've learned from your process this past cycle, so new moon to full moon, or in this case, since you didn't have a new moon, just what you've learned moving through so far, and decide how you want to apply this wisdom moving forward, and then rest. Notes about the balsamic moon phase or waning crescent are located at the bottom of the worksheet. So here it says the balsamic moon, going within, rest, healing, fallow period. Please note that while the more in-between phases, the waxing crescent, waxing gibbous moon, disseminating moon / waning gibbous moon, and the balsamic moon / waning crescent may not have their own worksheets, they are still important to move through in order to get to the pillar phases. They often involve more internal or emotional things like making decisions, resting, or going within than the more action-oriented pillars. Always remember that rest is productive. Then you also get 2 dot grid pages before the next calendar month starts, but you have to do a review. So there's a monthly review as well as like this stuff. But looking at the actual last quarter moon worksheet, once again, you have the date and time. You've got releasing, letting go, banishing, culling, which is what you should do on the last quarter moon or what it represents. You have the themes and associations and related domains for the sign that the moon is in. And then you have crisis point number 2. After the full moon shed its light on your situation and the disseminating moon helped you to appreciate the insight, it's time to evaluate your cycle and show up with the wisdom you've gleaned. Cut back any dead weight you might have. So this is the cycle review. Start doing, stop doing, continue, pause, and then lessons to integrate into the next cycle. And then you have moving forward into the balsamic moon. You've worked hard on your intentions for a whole cycle. Good job. It's time to take a rest and think deeply on what intentions you'd like to set at the next new moon. So this is something that you don't have to use every single day, but you should check in every week. And then after that, like I said, you have 2 dot grid pages for notes. I feel like I should have included more notes at the back, but I did not. You just get the 2 notes pages per month. So you can add extra trackers. You can, do a monthly vision board. You can just write notes. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. Then you have the review page. So what am I most proud of this month? What worked for me this month? I'm grateful for. How was my well-being this month? How, if at all, did it affect my productivity? In what ways, if any, do I have to learn to be okay with this? What is not working that I need to let go of, restructure, or surrender to? Am I feeling resistance around something? Why? In what areas am I struggling? Who can I get support from? What am I spending most of my time and energy on? Is this in alignment with my values and goals? What kind of guidance have I been receiving this month? Where do I feel I'm being directed? What lessons or tweaks can I bring forward in this next month? Saying hell yes to, saying F no to, there you have it. And it just repeats. And that's what's different about this planner, workbook planner thing, We're going to do our pen test. So we are going to grab some pens. Of course, ballpoint pen is always going to be fine. You don't have to worry about that. I am going to do a lot of gel pens and stuff. And I'm going to do dot pens because I use these in my thing. So I'm not hopeful. Yeah, that bleeds. That bleeds. So I'm gonna need to figure out a new way to do my stuff. Oh yeah. All right, so this is a Uniball 1P for petite, I guess, which is a gel pen. That's fine. This is a fountain pen. That bled a little bit, and this is my stuff that normally does not bleed, so I wouldn't recommend it. This is not really paper for fountain pen. I don't know. We've got, this is a Muji pen. I'm not gonna bother with that. Muji gel pens work. Let's see. This is a Tombow dual brush pen. That's dangerous. That looks like it's gonna bleed. It definitely ghosts. And then a ballpoint pen. That's gonna be absolutely fine. Yeah, that's fine. What else can I do? Let's look at, this is a Fudenosuke. This is, So if you have brush pens, I would not recommend this paper because it's kind of gritty. All right, so this is an Ink Joy, and that works okay. So gel pens and ballpoint pens, pencils are all okay. Also, if you have, let's see, if you've got one of those, like, what is the thing that I want? The erasable pen, friction pen? Yeah, this is a friction pen. And of course the friction pen is fine because they don't bleed. This is a Coletto. Colettos are fine, that's a gel pen. Yeah, so if you are going to be coloring in your little assessment in the front somewhere, where's that? Here it is. I would not use markers. I really wouldn't. So like colored pencils, if you have them, or crayons. I'm gonna grab a mild liner. So yeah, this is a mild liner. That might actually be okay. A mild liner might be okay. You definitely don't want to use dot markers. The Tombows are, I don't know, they look a little iffy. Mild liners might be okay. Use at your own risk, I guess. Always do a pen test page because these mild liners I got in 2020. So they're 4 years old. So they might have, you know, lost some of their juiciness. But yeah, that's it. That's a look at the Memento Mori Goal Planner Companion, such that it is. I will be setting my goals in this thing, and you are welcome to do that along with me. You know, I said I was not going to be doing another goal setting series, or at least I wasn't going to be doing it in the way that I've been doing it in the past, where I read through the whole thing like I'm a storytime mummy. But I'm honestly not really sure. I'm not sure. I might just kind of fill out this stuff by myself and then do the check-in and the this stuff, like the word of the year, the sensory board, and the long terms, and actual setting the goals on camera, and just do like the back end work. I guess I should probably do the happytizer publicly, or I could just show you what I've done. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. I won't necessarily listen because I do what I want, but I do appreciate any insights. I don't appreciate insults though. I do appreciate anything you might have to say. Yeah, let me know. What do you think? What do you think of this thing? Thanks for watching if you made it this far. Bye!
Till next time.